Welcome to Future Hood Movie Gems. I am your host, Jordan. He was like a brother to me, and now he's like a freaking ice cream. And I got my co-host, Nick.
Sentimental value. I've heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking about the bike.
Yeah, yep.
Which is a pretty nice bike, by the way.
I don't know anything about bikes, but it looked nice.
I don't know jack about bikes, but I'd seen that one before. It's an older bike.
Yeah, because you have to like use your foot to like start it, right? Is that how normal bikes? I feel like a lot of bikes you just push a button, right? I don't know anything about bikes. I know on four-wheelers you push a button.
I know my car has a button. You just push that. That's all I drive is cars.
I know Ty in Hawaii went mountain biking with his friend, and I edited their GoPro footage, and he could not get the bike started. He was like trying so hard with his foot to get it like, you know how like sometimes when you start a lawnmower and you have to like yank it, and it's just like sometimes either you flooded it because you pushed, because it has too much, is it gas in the, I don't know anything about like how those things work, but essentially like when you yank it, you know, you have to, it like revs it, starts it. Okay.
I'm just listening to what you're saying because it's so interesting how you're trying to explain.
I know. Do not take car advice from me, which clearly you will not. But
definitely don't take car advice because his car sometimes stinks like gas. I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Nick was freaking out in the back seat. Oh, it's gonna explode! It's gonna explode! Get me out of this car! Get me out of this car!
It was. We had to stop off because first off, I couldn't breathe, and secondly, I didn't know what was going on. I thought, heck, if we light a match in this thing, this whole thing is gonna just poof, up in smoke. You know what I mean? Just blow up.
You were so paranoid. Oh my gosh.
I didn't know what to do. I've never been in that situation before, where the whole car smelled thickly of gasoline. And guys, let me remind you, we were in, where were we?
Vegas.
We
were driving through Vegas. Yeah, we just passed Vegas and we were heading through the Devil's something.
In August, okay?
And so it was like the hottest time of year.
It was hot as heck.
We went through that city that was like the hottest place in the U.S., and they have that like temperature thermometer thing. I would love to shoot a movie there. That would be amazing.
It was great. It would have been great. However, you would think, why don't you just roll down the windows? Well, we tried doing that, but guess what? With how hot it was like a convection oven, just blowing heat into the car at a rapid speed.
Well, because you said turn off the AC. Yeah, and then it turned to, it's called Death Valley in California, on our way to California.
So we had two choices, either burn to death or die by, poisoning.
Isn't that an amazing movie title too? Death Valley? Oh my gosh.
It would be a pretty amazing.
Like a deal gone wrong.
Well, you can go back there.
I know, shooting a movie, I would obviously shoot it, in the winter, and then I would go back there and shoot a couple scenes during the hottest time just to get that temperature thermometer hitting its like peak. Oh, that'd be so good.
Anyway,
the villain
back to the movie.
Okay, yeah, so let's talk about this amazing movie. All right, so we've taken a break from Danny Boyle. We haven't forgotten about you. We've still got one more to go.
I wish we would forget about him.
Never.
I didn't even look who this director was. I'm like, but I know this isn't Danny Boyle.
Yeah. This is David Cronenberg, and we'll be definitely doing a few of his.
What is with you in the UK movies? Can we watch something that was made in America in Hollywood?
Was this really shot in the UK?
I don't know. Probably not.
But, I mean, it definitely didn't look like it was shot in the US. Maybe it was. I don't know.
It was probably shot in London, since that's where the movie took place.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, so David Cronenberg, I love him. He does body horror, so it's just like the most disturbing scenes. In a way, this reminds me a little bit of Goodfellas. I feel like the gangsters from Russian gangsters are much more, I don't know, I guess they're just as brutal, right? I mean, because this reminds me of the end of Casino. Remember when they're beating the guy to death with a bat? Like,
that was way cooler, though.
Oh, no. Actually, this reminds me of...
That wasn't Casino. Which one are you talking about?
That was Casino. They beat him to death with a bat and they bury him alive.
No, I'm pretty sure that was Goodfellas.
Oh,
wait, no, Goodfellas, he gets shot. That's right.
Goodfellas, they make him...
Casino is when you're right.
Yeah, and so Goodfellas...
I always get those two ends mixed up.
Well, this is because you watch them, like, back to back.
I do watch them back to back.
So, in Goodfellas, he just got made, which in this film... As soon as he gets, I don't know what do they call it again, Nick? Not getting made, it's
pretty much getting made.
Well, yeah, it's just a different term for it for the Russians. So when that happens,
the stars.
they backstab him and kill him, which I just
that
thought
was interesting. It actually took me until the second time watching that to figure that out, because I must have missed the one part at the end where he was telling him, I didn't know that my dad set you up.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is he said, I believe the dude has that mustache, he looks like a Monopoly man.
Yeah.
He's like bald. Yeah. He's like, he's in there, and he says the name of the kid, which I can't remember right now, which he's the guy. Did you recognize the son that, remember the dad's trying to keep his secret throughout the entire film that he's or whatever? The son, the main kid, he is the same villain in, what's the Danny Boyle heist movie we saw? Trance.
Oh, man. I forgot all about Danny Boyle's stuff at this point.
Yeah, it's all blended together. Well,
No, it's just all, yeah. I just know which movies of his not to rewatch.
okay, but Trance you enjoyed. And that's the...
Trance wasn't bad.
Yeah, so that villain in that, he's the same guy in this movie, if you didn't remember. Anyways, and then you got Viggo Mortensen, which I can't not think of Brickleberry when I see Viggo Mortensen. Remember how the one...
Yes.
Yes. He's like obsessed with Viggo Mortensen. He's got like pictures, and then he goes to Comic-Con to meet him. Oh, so good. It's just funny because of all the actors to be in love with. I just love that that's the actor he loves so much.
That is funny. He was good in this movie, though, man. He was probably the only person I really actually liked.
I don't know. I really like the main girl. I think she's great. She was in The Impossible, which is also amazing.
Yeah, but I'm always on the side of the mobsters.
Doesn't she kind of look like Nicole Kidman? I swear I mistake her for Nicole all the time.
I guess she kind of looks like her.
Yeah, I think so.
Naomi Watts.
Yeah. And Viggo Mortensen's performances, I think it's between this one and Green Book, where he just gets so lost in his character, which is really fun because that one's he's an Italian. Not a mob boss, but the mob is trying to recruit him. And then in this one, he plays a Russian. And oh my gosh, I always get chills when he puts his two fingers up to his neck, which I'm assuming just means like you're dead, kind of. Yeah, because I mean, instead of like dragging your finger across your throat, he just puts two fingers up to it, which I just thought was really cool. It must be a Russian thing, but that scene always gives me chills. The ending, as disturbing as it is when he's fighting in that bathhouse, I can't like look away, even though I'm like.
I did look away a few times.
I can't. It's so intense because he has nothing to defend himself with.
I know, it's terrible to be like trying to fight.
Yeah, and that one, he grabs one of the old guys and like pushes him in front of him.
He does.
Uses him as a body shield. And then
Well, his first mistake was going into that bathhouse, to be honest with you. That's gross.
You've never been to a bathhouse?
No.
What about a sauna room? You've been in a sauna room.
Been in a sauna at a gym once a long time ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't go into bathhouses. It's just gross. The whole place is gross. Everybody's just like, no, they're pretty much. I mean, they got the towel on covering half their body. And
not everybody
they're all
is.
walking around up in there, and that place is just a breeding ground for foot fungus. I swear, if you go into one of those, you're gonna get athlete's foot for sure. You're probably gonna get something else too funky going on with all those people stepping around, and it's wet. It's just a breeding ground for so many disgusting things. I'd be more just worried about the floor and everywhere else. I get it, it's warm in there. It's a sauna. I don't know, man.
I haven't gone in a long time, but I do remember it being very relaxing.
You went to an actual bathhouse?
Not really. I think, like you said, it's just a sauna.
Bathhouse seems like a kind of like a Russian thing.
Yeah, or I swear I've seen it in like the Count of Monte Cristo. They had one as well.
Well, that was probably more popular back then, yeah.
Yeah, back in the day. A sauna just seems more of like a modern version of that. What I love, and this has such like, welcome to the world of crime. Like it is the opening scene when the guy gets his throat slit. It's so good. Like it's
that
such
poor
a
kid too that had to do it. He didn't know what the heck he was doing. He was so scared.
I know, and then they end up killing him. That just makes me sick.
Somehow that weasel just keeps slipping through the cracks. The Monopoly man. He's a weasel.
Yes, I was like, which weasel are we talking about? Yeah,
The only weasel, the Monopoly man.
Yes. Let's see. So, Nick, what was it like watching the first time? Have you seen? I'm sure you've seen this movie before.
I think I have seen it before. I remember parts of it, but I mean, it was good. You know, definitely worth a watch, I would say.
And then, what was it like watching it 3 times for the podcast, Nick?
The same.
That's the first. Yeah, I loved. So it's so weird. Like the first time I do remember loving it, but the second time I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest movie ever, and I put it in my top 100. And then I watched it again for the podcast, and I'm like, maybe I've watched them too close to each other. I like to give myself a little bit of space before I watch it again. But I'm so excited to talk about it. I rewatched it, And I didn't love it as much as I did that second time, but it's still amazing. Like, I just think I needed to give a little bit more breathing room between watches because it's a lot. This movie is crazy. I do love
It is crazy.
I do love gangster flicks, but this one, it feels a bit more gritty. I mean, that's to be expected with David's movies, because if you watch his other movies, like, I don't know if you remember Videodrome. It's a pretty old film, but also made by the same director. It's got the same guy from Casino, the sleazy dude. Oh, he's in Family Guy, James Wood.
Oh.
I have James Woods, someone to care for. I love that episode. So James Woods, which has the most iconic voice, which is why I love that they used him in Hercules, but he is in Videodrome, and that movie's wild. Anyways, we'll get into that eventually. I don't know if you remember, but so James Woods has like this, like, it looks like a in his stomach, and he reaches in and pulls out a gun. Not ringing a bell?
No. No, it's not.
Okay.
I'm sure I've seen it, man. I don't know.
Yeah, you probably have. I mean, you've seen a lot of movies growing up.
I've seen all of Family Guy.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Like, I know he appears in many episodes in one way or another.
Yeah, well, but I was going back to his...
When they have that dinner, I remember that.
Yes, well,
He invites them all to dinner.
the part that I can never forget from Family Guy is just when he's like, ooh, a piece of candy.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah,
a piece
that's
of
right.
candy.
Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy.
He leaves like a trail to capture him. It's amazing.
And they send him to like one of those government facilities where they just artifacts just go to sit forever.
And it's like Indiana Jones where it backs out and there's just like millions of boxes.
Oh,
That was great. So back to this movie though. Viggo Mortensen is the performance of a lifetime, so that's my favorite thing. I think it's one of his best performances. He is so good, and you forget he is Viggo Mortensen. I see this Russian mobster. I mean, he doesn't consider himself a mobster, because when she asked him, she's like,
I don't know, I'm just the driver.
yes. Every time she's like, you knew about all this? You read the journal? And he's like, I'm just the driver. I love that line. Like, but I mean, deep down, I don't think he is such a terrible person. Like, he's always trying to do what he can under the circumstances, which now that, I mean, it makes more sense because later you find out that he is actually an informant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never really know if he's like an informant or if he's,
Decided to
put there,
switch sides.
is undercover. I don't know if he's undercover or if he's just an informant. It's hard to tell.
Oh, is an informant? I thought they were somebody that was planted like a rat.
Well, it could be, but usually an informant, someone that's, usually already in the group already, that they get to talk about the group.
Oh, okay. And then they decide to rat out people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to be in the inner circle to be able to inform the operations.
And then he made it to the very top of the circle by getting promoted.
He did.
And which they didn't do to promote him necessarily, but just so that the other...
It just worked out well that way.
Well, but they wanted to... Well, that's the moment when the Monopoly Man, he points out the fact that he's like, that's the guy's son. Like, he lied about who it was, because that's why they did the tattoos, because they knew that would be essentially the key element that would lead them to... Okay, so the villain's son is Kirill. That's right. The Monopoly Man says Kirill is in there. You can notice by the tattoos, because he was technically supposed to get promoted. Like, everyone else would have thought he would have been the one, because he's the mobster's son. So they would have thought, oh, for sure, Kirill would have been the one to be promoted. But they promoted
Kirill was already promoted. He already had the stars.
Oh, he did?
Mm-hmm.
But he said, but why did he seem so disappointed? Because he's like, he came downstairs to talk.
I think he's just...
Oh, and he didn't want him leaving.
I don't know.
Because if he got promoted, he probably wouldn't be his busboy, or, I mean, whatever they're called, the taxi guy.
Well, he said that at one point it was his idea to have him promoted.
Yeah, but it didn't look like he actually knew any of that, because remember, he was drunk and he was also upset, and he was like, you don't think my father doesn't tell me everything? Like, he's mad because he's kept out of the loop. Like, the dad even said, he's like, go downstairs and take a while before you come up.
Right, he's just a little jealous.
Exactly. So that's why I thought he hadn't been promoted. I don't remember seeing the stars on the son's shoulders.
Well, he said something about being born with them. Obviously, he wasn't born with them, but I was born with the stars. I thought he showed his stars.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, man. See, now I got to go rewatch it again to see that.
Could be wrong. I have it on the TV right now. I'm going to just fast forward to that part while you keep talking.
Okay, yeah, if you can find that. Because I know that they essentially use those as indicators to lie to them, because Viggo Mortensen wasn't who they were actually after. They were after the kid, because he was the one who had that guy killed at the very beginning, which was part of another gang. So it was like a kind of a gang war between the two. They were after whoever killed there. Would it be considered a war if it's just between a few people? Maybe not quite a war.
If it's between a few big dogs, then everybody's getting involved.
Yeah, and they were just coming back for revenge. They're like, give us the son.
I want to know if they took out the Monopoly man.
No, I don't think so.
I think they would have taken him out.
Maybe. Well, they just killed who killed him, and then whoever gave the order. So it was the son, which they were after, Krill, and then the Monopoly man's son.
Yeah, Monopoly man.
Naomi Watts was great.
Yeah, he's got the stars.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Krill's got the stars because in the cellar when they're talking about when he's about to get his promotion, he pulls his shirt over and he's like, "Remember, I was born a vor."
Oh, that's right. Okay, duh. Yeah, he just seems so disappointed. So
I don't know. He's just jealous, not disappointed, jealous.
Oh, jealous. Yeah.
Plus, I think he's.
Yeah, I love just the whole journal idea. Like Naomi showing up with the journal and the guy like, oh, let me, no, I'm going to translate this. Like, he's so creepy. And I just feel like he's such a great villain because I love how you get to see little bits of into his life when he's telling the little girl to play the violin. And he's like, no, you need to play it like it's sad. And it's just so good. I don't know. Little moments like that. Did you already say your two favorite parts, Nick?
Probably.
As always, David's violence is so good. And enjoyed it very much. Very intense. And I just love all his practical effects. They're so good. Nerdwriter put out an amazing YouTube video about this movie.
What? What did?
A Nerdwriter, he's a YouTuber. My college professor used to show us videos from his YouTube page because he's really eloquent with words, which clearly I am not. So if you want to go to somebody with more, with a better vocabulary, he's the guy to turn to. He just has such an appreciation for art.
Are you a fanboy?
Of his work, yes. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Really? This movie's amazing. Do you recommend it?
Of course. But I recommend most mobster-style movies.
Yeah. Where does this rank? I mean, obviously it's under Goodfellas.
Oh, of course it's under a lot of those. I'm not gonna say, if this was a different light. I would just say most of the mobster movies, if you think about it, they show the mobsters, I guess being mobsters and shows like what they do in their day-to-day operations and things like that. This was more of like a bunch of dudes defending, I don't know, just about an old guy not trying to get caught because he had a kid with a girl.
Yeah, just trying to keep one of their secrets, and it kind of all spiraling out of control. Yeah. I love it. I like how simple it is, and
it is simple.
I love it so much. But do you think it ranks in top 10? Maybe gangster flicks.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of good gangster flicks out there.
There's a lot of good ones. Yeah.
There's one that would definitely be in my top 10. American Gangster. Yeah. Oh. That's such a good movie.
Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
Wait, how do you say, because Denzel in that movie says ambulance. How do you say ambulance?
Like that, ambulance.
Okay. Denzel pronounces it ambulance. A lot of people pronounce it that way.
What also was really good, which would probably rank on my top 10, would be that TV show, Godfather of Harlem. That's a good one too, man. It's about Bumpy Johnson. It's about Bumpy Johnson. It's really good. A lot of it's pretty fictionalized, but some of the, some facts are there.
Definitely in my top 10 is American Made. That is an amazing gangster flick. I mean, I don't know if you even call it gangster because it's just about a guy involved in the cartel. Would you call it a gangster flick?
Maybe, but Goodfellas and Casino are definitely up there too.
Narcos is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know, because the cartel, you'd consider them gangsters, right? Or is that a whole different thing?
I don't know. I'm more into I like the mob.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and any one of those, Bonnie and Clyde, that's another good gangster movie.
I actually don't think I've seen that one yet.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember when we saw, what's the one with Johnny Depp and he was a gangster? That was a Michael Mann film. That was a great one. What's that called?
Sure.
Have you been watching the Johnny Depp deposition or whatever it's called?
I've been reading about it.
Yeah, I listened to some of it. His exes.
Sounds like it's a pretty good show. I heard there was alpacas there.
A show? Wait, I'm talking about his girlfriend?
Yeah, it's all a show, dude.
Oh,
I mean, it's actually happening, but you think about it, it's two, actors going against each other. Well, an actor and actress, whatever. But
I don't know. She's kind of insane.
They're both insane. It just kind of gives you an insight to what some of these celebrities' lives are like.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're putting on a show. He's putting on a show. She brought the alpacas, dude. Everybody's putting on a show.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't get that far in.
No, they didn't, obviously.
I just saw.
She brought him outside. They were outside. She did it once before. I read something about it.
Oh, brother. Okay. That now I don't even know what to think about the whole case. It sounds bananas.
It is bananas. It's a show.
Okay,
They're suing each other.
Yeah, I know.
He for $50 million, then she's suing him back for $100 million. So,
did you see like her take a dump on his bed? Like that was one of the.
I heard that that's what happened. I heard that someone took a dump on the bed.
It was her on his bed, and it's just.
She said it was a friend of hers, but I don't know. No, she said it was her dog or something at first.
It was just so funny when he's like, "Can we show the photo?" And then the lawyer's like, "Objection, objection." It's just anytime he said anything, "Objection, Your Honor." Oh, brother. Let's see. Oh, A Public Enemy. That was the movie with Johnny Depp.
Oh, Public Enemy's good.
Yeah,
I just watched that recently.
We saw that in theater together. That's a
Hey, when's the next set of episodes from Ozark coming out?
Oh, it's coming out really soon, actually. Let me look that up.
Is it? Is it this Friday?
Let me look.
Does it come out this Friday?
Give me a second. April 29th.
So this Friday.
Oh, yeah, it comes out Friday. You know what I'm going to be doing this weekend?
Yeah, you know what I'm doing too, right when I get home Friday. Well, this chick wants to come over, but I'm going to be like, no, you can't. You gotta watch Ozark. Sorry, because she'll annoy me the whole time because she probably doesn't watch Ozark. So she'll probably be like, what's going on? What's happening? She's like one of those chicks that asks a lot of questions. And I'll be like, shh, quiet.
On a second viewing, I don't mind that if somebody wants to ask questions. But on a first time,
it's not going to be my second viewing. It's going to be my first viewing. And she's
well,
going to
that's what I'm saying.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't have it. Can't have it. And she'll want to cuddle and try to kiss up on me. And I'll be like, whoa, yo, Ozark.
I just watched Wedding Crashers with my wife. Very funny.
What did she think?
She laughed a lot. She thought it was funny.
I love Wedding Crashers. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
She's a stage 5 clinger. We got to go.
Yes, that was such a good line.
What is their company called? Holy Shirts and Pants or something?
Oh, yeah.
So they're sitting at the dinner table and they're like, we're venture capitalists. We have a company where we get wool and we make clothes for people. That's called like Holy Shirts and Pants or something.
Yeah, I did a double feature that night as all kind of meshing together. We also saw Brawl in Cell Block 99. Oh my gosh, the movie's so good, Nick. I think you said you saw it.
I did see it. So you're going to introduce her to Brickleberry or what?
I did watch one episode with her. She laughed a few times. It's not really her shtick. I can't... Nick, it might just be me and you. Like I can't get.
No, I know another person that loves Brickleberry, and they're right next to me at work.
Okay.
They know and it's a woman. She knows Brickleberry. She loves some Brickleberry.
Oh, actually, I did meet somebody when I was working at Apple that really loved it, and it's so funny because Nick, my manager, he looked exactly like the character from Brickleberry, like
Really?
the main guy. Yeah, I told him that, and he's seen Brickleberry, and he didn't seem too happy about it. I compared him to that character.
I wouldn't probably be happy being compared to any of those characters.
Because he's not too bright, that character. But my manager, he was a genius. He's a super smart guy, but...
So that he didn't like you calling him an idiot or saying he looks like an idiot.
But I wasn't comparing his personality to him. I just said he looked like him.
Yes, right.
Which maybe he's not a compliment either.
He was offended because you said he looks like an idiot.
I did not.
You did, in so many words.
Okay, Nick, what have you seen lately, and what are you looking forward to? Obviously, you're looking forward to Ozark, but what else have you seen?
Yeah, definitely looking forward to Ozark. What else have I seen? Pass.
Okay. I saw a bunch of movies in the theater, Nick, and I highly recommend Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Northman, and the one with Nick Cage. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if you would like it. I think you will, maybe if it hits like a streaming service for free. I don't know if I'd recommend seeing it in the theater, but The Unbearable...
Did you go with your wife?
Weight of Massive Talent. I did see The Northman and Everything Everywhere All at Once with my wife, but I watched The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
So is that something you guys
alone.
Just do? Is that something like you guys worked out? You like go to movies and stuff?
We actually went to California this weekend.
Did you? Mm-hmm. Her place?
Her sister, so my sister-in-law and brother-in-law.
Where are they at?
In LA.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Did you drive into LA?
No. We flew in, and then we spent some time at the beach. It was nice.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that it's California.
Hollywood, California.
I did like it, but we were in like a not very populated part of California, you know.
Oh, you're talking about the wedding. Yeah, so we did go back to her parents' house, and so we were up there. So we spent some time in LA and a little bit of time because we went and saw The Little Mermaid play. So
The what?
Little Mermaid?
The Little Mermaid play?
Yeah, as a play.
Was that your idea?
No, so her mom is a theater major and she like is the conductor, but the man, whatever the person whatever they call the person that's in charge of like the play that oversees it.
Was it good?
I enjoyed parts of it, yeah.
Little Mermaid play. Yeah, okay, cool.
I mean, they were high schoolers, like it wasn't a professional thing.
As I was gonna ask, was it amateur? Like,
Yeah, so, some of it, yeah. Some of them I'm like, okay, I could see these people going on to doing things.
did she work for like a high school?
Yeah, she works at the high school.
Oh, so this was like a high school play.
Yeah, it actually brought me back. I was thinking about some high school memories. It's like,
This seems like an interesting choice for a high school group of kids to want to do.
I don't know. That's not like the only play she does. She cycles through all sorts of different plays. That just seemed to be the choice this year. I wonder if she chooses it or if has like maybe there's a vote.
I'm sure. Well, either way, I'm sure it was great.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if I was a high schooler student at our high school, and not that I would be in drama and any of those type of classes, you know me, I was a cool cat.
Yeah, but you'd be like a tree or something. You'd be down for that maybe.
And if they told me I had to do the Little Mermaid play, I'll be like, well, I'm going to have to switch classes. So, can I just take a study hall on this one or what?
Yeah.
Because, but that's me, dude. That's me. Because that would have been part of my situation.
Situation. I love it. I think that's everything. So, peace.
Situation.